What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we are here in the wind tunnel again. Today we're going to be shooting in Iowa in April, so the weather is insane. But we are going to also be shooting the Glock 28, which is the new Glock, and I didn't want to wait any longer. Weather's been kind of crazy for the past few weeks. I've been gone here and there, and I wanted to shoot this gun real bad, so we're bringing it to you today. We'll try to stay out of the wind as much as we can, hide behind this building as much as we can, but when we do go to the range and shoot the fast portion, there will be a little wind, but we do have a dead cat on, so sorry in advance. Now, the Glock 380, the Glock 26 in 380, or the Glock 28, is a Glock 26 in 380. It is a subcompact polymer frame pistol with a striker fire design that shoots the 380 caliber out of a gun that is essentially the exact same as the Glock 26 Gen 3, in my personal opinion, or pretty close. Now, these have been around for a while, but not in the US. They were recently released, and that's due to some import regulations and stuff like that, but these are now made in the United States. That's why they were able to do a limited run of them. If you want one of these, just make sure that you know that in advance, that they are not like a new model of Glock, and that they will be limited in quantity, so if you want one, get one soon. It is kind of a collector's item, but it's also kind of a cool little thing, I guess. I've got some problems with this gun already, but the first thing I don't like is the fact that it obviously has the Gen 3 ergonomics instead of the Gen 5, the current Gen 5. So you're gonna lose a little bit of capability by comparison to the Glock 26, which you can get in a Gen 5 with an optics ready platform and all that stuff. This will not come optics ready. This will come with the white sights as usual. No front side serrations, no optics rail here. Standard trigger with the striker fired safety on there. Standard undercut with the Gen 3 texturing. The Glock 26 and the Glock 28, since they're the same frame, are notorious for being fat, which is why I did my Glock 26 video. I called it the fat baby, because it's a tiny little gun, but she's a chunky bitch. And that is one of the things that I wanted to highlight today. We're gonna shoot this, and I'm sure that will help out with the shooting performance. Having a small gun with a larger grip helps you shoot a little bit better, but it does make it a little less concealable, considering width is certainly an important factor when it comes to carry, which is why some of the most popular guns in the United States today, including the two most popular carry pistols, the Glock 43X and the SIG P365, are micro 9mm. Not only do you get a higher capacity, 10 to 12+1, you also get a small frame gun that's very thin, and you also get the 9mm cartridge as opposed to the 380. So you can see here the thickness in this guy is going to be a little bit harder to carry on the waistband, which is where most people carry, than something like the Glock 43X. And you're also going to get a larger, easier to shoot grip on this, and you're also going to get a better caliber. We really are going back in time with this, simply because this gun was released a long time ago in Europe, and it's just being released in the United States now. It's not a new design. And if you're cool with that, and if you like the Glock 26 a lot, and you want it in 380, here's your boy. So we're gonna go out and shoot that today, but before we do, I wanna mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. You guys paid for this gun, and we appreciate that. You're also gonna be paying for the ammo for the video, so we appreciate that as well. We make gun content for you and not the industry, and for that, we thank you. All you have to do is go to the description and click the link and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. You guys do a great deal of good, and we keep hearing about it, so please keep going down to that link and donate to those kids, because it's a good thing to do. And finally, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, Sonoran Desert Institute. They're one of our favorite sponsors. They are a university where you can get education in firearms, in technology. It's one of the best ways to become a gunsmith, which is much needed in the industry today, in the United States today. There's very few qualified gunsmiths, and they make a good deal of money, and they're always busy. So not only is it a fun pursuit, but it's a great way to get a good paying job as well. So check out the Sonoran Desert Institute. All right, so this is the gun in question today. We've got it loaded up as MagTech, which we're going to be shooting, but I did want to size compare it a little bit to the P365, which you have to remember has the same capacity, but it's in 9mm. And as you can see, the 365 is much smaller. Then we look at the Glock 43X, which is a little bit longer. That's what she likes anyway, but it's not quite as thick, so that's nice for carry. And then we have what I would consider to be its main competitor, which is the relatively rusty LCP Max, but it actually is much smaller. It has the same capacity and the same caliber, and you can see there it's very, very small. Now this is gonna be a little bit harder to shoot than this, I'm sure, and maybe the Glock won't rust quite as much as the LCP, but just know going in that there are some options as far as size and weight. All right, so we're gonna take our first shots here at 50 yards, and we'll see if we can hit anything. Trying to hide behind a building here. Oh, we got one. Okay. I always forget to bury the dot. See if we can hit again. Oh, fail barrel.
Short burst of fun.
It's real easy to shoot, I'll give you that. Although I got to admit, like if I was gonna tell you which grip I like better, I definitely like the longer grip of the 43X over this little stubby thing. I used to carry the 26 all the time, and coming from a person, like I'm certainly not a Glock hater. If you guys watch the channel, you know that. Like I've carried Glocks for a long time, and the 26, the fat baby, was my boy forever. And just the reality is there are just better guns out. Now this is not a bad gun, certainly, because it's a lot like the Ruger 380 that just came out recently, the full size one. I can't remember exactly what it's called, the Security 380. You got a decent capacity, you have a well shooting gun, and you have a low recoil gun as well in a brand that people trust. So if you're trying to get into a carry gun, if you're like 60, 70 years old, you know Glock works, and all of a sudden there's a subcompact size 380 that's easy to shoot for arthritic hands, and you've got something there. So I understand the concept behind the gun. However, for most people, I'm not sure this is gonna work, but we'll keep shooting it anyway.
Okay.
Really is a short burst of fun. Cool thing about the 26 is you can put the bigger 9mm mags in, and since this takes proprietary mags, you can't do that with this, and that kind of sucks. But it sure does rapid fire nice. All right, so we're about 80 here, hiding behind the shed, and we'll see if we can hit with a 380 at 80. That's, well, a good tagline. It's very difficult, especially with these Glock sights. Sorry, I just didn't think I was gonna hit anything.
Pleased with yourself?
Yeah. Barrel. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta dial in the elevation and the windage with your 380 pistol. Because who doesn't do that? You want me to back up a little bit?
Sure.
Well, it's an accurate little motherfucker, I'll say that. One of the things that I didn't realize was just how shootable this was gonna be. I said in the beginning I thought it was gonna be shootable like the Ruger Security 380, and this is very shootable. I mean, I gotta tell you, that's pretty phenomenal accuracy for a stock Glock in 380, a stock stubby Glock in 380. I mean, that was, you know, 50%-ish at 80 yards. That's way further than most people ever gonna be shooting, so. Well, that was crazy. Just had inconsistencies with hitting, and I was trying to adjust for windage, and I would go further and further to the right, and then a couple times I would hit, and then at that same spot I would dramatically miss, and it was just all over the map. The gun itself, though, despite the actual weather conditions, was actually not bad. It doesn't have ergonomics that I like, and one thing that I will comment on immediately is the inability of me to get the magazine out of the gun with gloves on. Like, this is the reason why they changed to the larger magazine catch that you see on the 43X right here. I even have an extended one a little bit because even the larger version of the actual Glock is inefficient, and this is just absolutely miserable to try to load and reload. And the reason why is because you can see there's no grip at all. I have no space for my support hand at all on this, even though it's a fat grip. And the magazine catch, I can't even reach with my firing grip unless I break my firing grip, and I can reach it on a CZ Shadow 2, if that gives you an idea. And I just forgot, like, I haven't shot a Gen 3 Glock in a while, and I have to say that I kind of forgot just how much they suck by compared to like modern guns. I wish I didn't say that, because like the Gen 3 Glock's like one of the greatest guns in history, and I carried one forever, but this ain't 1995. It's 2023, and in 2023 you can get this, the Glock 43X, and I just, fuck me, I just don't know if I see a reason. I just don't see it. I don't know. I'm just being honest, and that's what we do on this channel. We had no reliability issues. When the wind wasn't 47,000 miles an hour, we were hitting at not only 50, but at 75, sort of make it look easy. And then, you know, the weather all kind of hell broke loose, and we were missing, and that kind of affects your shooting experience a little bit, so I'm not gonna judge it too much on that. But I will judge it on the fact that it has the Gen 3 ergonomics, and it has the Glock 26 ergonomics, which are inferior, in my opinion, to the more modern guns. If you want a 380, I'd probably look at like the LCP Max, or maybe the Glock 42, which you literally get a much smaller gun, and you have around the same capacity, around the same caliber. If you want a 9mm, I mean, there's a plethora of those on the market today that are great, including the new Canic, the Glock 43X, the SIG P365, the Shield Plus. All of those I would consider to be probably cheaper, better caliber, better capacity, better ergonomics, and more accurate with more accessories available. And like some of the big stand-in points of the Glock where they just win in all categories don't really apply to this, because you can't use the same magazines at the bigger guns on this gun, because you can't use the 9mm magazines. Obviously you have to use the 380, and you can see that they're blocked. They look like a 26 mag. They kind of mold it a little different, and you're not going to be able to use like a 17 round mag with this, and that kind of sucks for me. You're going to be able to change the sights and mill it for a dot if you want, but you don't get an MOS system right out of the box like a modern gun like a Gen 5 or a Gen 4, and you're not going to get an accessory rail, and you're not going to get good texture, so you're going to have to stipple it. You're essentially back in the 1990s, and for a practical gun, I see no point to that at all. For a fun gun, for a collectible gun, yeah, maybe. If you like this, I have the original first gen, I just kind of like it. And that's why I bought this. I bought it because I like it, and it's going to be part of the Glock collection. That being said, am I going to carry this? Fuck no. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.